Are you with me? The Carrico Coaches Show. Of course, if you want to come and join us live right here at Pizzaville, USA at 114 Derrick Plaza, off board right here in exit 4. Come and join us. Of course, tonight, Coach, Tuesday, kids eat for free. Bring the whole family. We'll have a ball. Coach, thanks for joining us again. I had such a great time last week. Looking forward to another show with you tonight. I want to start out by congratulating you, getting out with the Jamboree with a 14-14 tie, came out healthy. Gotta love that fact.
Absolutely. Had a chance to win the game at the end, and anytime you go out there and compete, that's what you want. You want a chance to win it at the end. And, we probably could have ran another football live real play, but we have a kicker that's just recently joined our program within the last 2 weeks, man, and we're very, very excited about him. We think he's got the chance to be very good, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity to get him that experience, and first and foremost, I thought that it would set the sideline on fire if he made it, So, and I've never experienced that before, so that was a cool thing. And I asked the guys on the sideline, actually, I asked the coaches, I said, hey, man, y'all want to give Matt a shot at this? And they said, absolutely, let's roll. So, obviously we wish he would have went through the uprights, and we've got to get better at protection on extra point and field goal and things of that nature. And Matt's got to learn how to get immediate height in a situation like that. But absolutely, major improvement from the scrimmage to the Jamboree. And we had a chance to win at the end against a very good football team. A very good football team that's well coached. Coach Dane and his staff does a tremendous job. And they're a very experienced ball club, especially up front. And we're very inexperienced. Right now, out of the 22 guys that are out there, about 17 of them are brand new, have little to no experience. So I was very proud of the way that we went out there and competed and had a chance to win the game.
I think right before we came on air, you said what I was thinking all along. It was such a roller coaster.
Yes.
You rode the momentum up and down, and you said you have 17 new starters, and that's going to happen when you have a very young ball club. How was the kid's psyche coming off of the 14-14 tie against Sterling's, and how did they go into week one?
I think they were very relieved because obviously we didn't perform the way we wanted to the previous week versus Westgate. So I think that they were relieved to go out there and underneath the lights on a big stage and play a quality football team and have a chance to win at the end. And defense has been really good this week so far at practice. They provide a lot of great energy offensively. We got to get better, and we've got to match that, and we've got to get every unit operating at a championship standard, offense, defense, and special teams. And, like you say, with all the new guys that we got, and look, a lot of our coaches are new too. We just got so much inexperience right now. We've just got to keep dominating the process, and we'll continue to get better and better on a day in and day out basis.
If you're just joining us, we're live from Pizzaville, USA. This is the Carrico Bears Network, and if you want to get in on the action and get your business advertising with us, you could drop us a line at cbnstream@gmail.com, and we'll get right back to you. Of course, we want to thank our guy Seth Dickerson, who's going to join us in the next segment. He's the director of AOIT here at Carrico, and he kind of runs this operation. He's going to let us know what happens behind the scene and everything that's going on when it comes to technology at the school. Our guy Benji Desatel, he does all the stuff that I can't even begin to do, Coach. I don't know. He sits behind the computer, presses all the buttons. But hey, make us look good and even better, right?
I call it all Chinese, brother. It's all Chinese to me.
And our guy Ross Noel, class of 2024, he's all in with the hype videos and making sure that
killing it,
looking great.
Absolutely killing it.
Tremendous job doing that.
I'm not really on social media that much anymore, but my phone's blowing up every time we post something. They're like, man, that was a real cool video. I'm like, man, what you talking about? Because I didn't see it, But Ross is doing a tremendous job, and I'm very proud of him, very blessed to have him. What's crazy is we sought out Ross because we're doing like a senior project on morning announcements, and I was just very impressed with his production that he had. And I saw him about 2 days later while I was on morning duty, and I called him over, and we just struck up a conversation. And ever since, man, he's been full-flown for the program. So it's just amazing how God works sometimes and how he puts, people in your life and, things of that nature. But all because that young man put a lot of pride in his performance in his senior project, we got him as part of our.
He's kind of an old soul, wise beyond the years. I thought he was graduate 2015 or something. He said, oh, man.
No, he just graduated.
So we appreciate him sticking by and
no doubt.
Always providing us with those hype videos. So, Coach, let's take a turn and look at the offense. You had some dynamic plays. You had some big splash plays.
Yeah.
Probably want to see a little bit more consistency, a lot more chain moving. Walk us through how that game looked for you in your advantage point.
The first possession, I thought that man, we got tremendously better from a week ago, and then the roller coaster effect kind of took its course. The reality of the situation is we're just so inexperienced. We're just so inexperienced. We only got two guys on our side of the ball right now, on the offense side of the ball, that have any type of experience, and those guys have played a lot of football. But they're a quarterback, Chance Babineau, and then receiver Kendrick Bernard. Outside of those two guys, there's not many more guys on the field right now that have any experience. And we've got a couple of freshmen out there. We got one freshman that's starting at right tackle, which is kind of unheard of. A freshman tackle starting on this level of football, and we've got two freshman receivers that are starting in some way, shape, or form. One's a full-time starter, the other one rotates in and out, and then we have a full-time starting running back at this point now too. That's a freshman. So it's just all about developing those guys and getting those guys ready to go and getting them to play winning football at a high level. And right now, we just all got to have patience with each other. Players have got to have patience with the coaches. Coaches have got to have patience with the players. And then coaches, we got to have patience with each other. And like I say, just keep dominating the process. And I expect us to get to that standard of championship play at some point.
And we're going to ask you guys to have patience with Joey Dwyer, Carricker offensive coordinator. He's going to join us later, and we're going to talk about some of the retired numbers and a special dignitary that we'll have Friday night in the
Well, there's nobody in the world that's got more patience than Coach Joe, brother. So I think he'll be just fine, man. I think he'll be just fine. You would have said Coach Benji or something like that, but Coach Joe, I got tremendous amount of patience with Coach Joe because he's one of the most patient guys I've ever seen.
So you talked a lot about the inexperience and different guys being able to contribute. Hey, some of those guys making those splash plays, hey, first time around the football, look, Brian Immune's a guy that played a lot of football for you the last couple of years, but on the defensive side of the ball, now really contributing offensively in a big way too. How does that work for a guy like that? Just a different mindset, kind of playing both ways now and having to kind of, conserve some energy and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Injuries are a part of the game, but he's dealing with an ankle issue right now, and that's one of the toughest injuries on skilled players, ankles, because it can affect their mindset very deeply. And if they don't feel that they can do their job at a high level, they start to tend to kind of get in their head a little bit. So I wish he was healthier right now, but what an awesome spring that young man had. I'm going to tell you, he is a really, really good tailback. Coach Pettis probably don't want to hear me say this, because we need him on the defensive side. But, I selfishly, I wish we could have him every play, because if we had that young man every play, then he'd definitely go down as one of the best running backs in the history of Cameron High School, along with all the other great ones as well, So he's a very good player. Look, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations, and we needed a big play in that moment. He stepped up. I saw him this weekend. The first thing I asked him, man, you going to be able to tote the rock a little bit next week? He said, oh, yeah, Coach, I'll be ready to go. So, what a tough player. He'd run through a wall for every single one of us, and I think he's got a big, big year ahead of him. We just got to get him healthy so that he can take more carries on the offensive side of the ball because we need him so much on the defensive side. We got to kind of make sure that we got this from Coach Skanes at Cecilia. 2 years ago was the first time we started to kind of have to play two-way players. And, I called him and said, hey, man, I've seen you guys do it, for a few years. Tell me the secret to it, or just give me kind of some pointers. And he said that you got to make sure that they're always available for their primary position. They can never get too fatigued playing their secondary position. So even though BA's a great running back for us, his primary position for us is at Mike linebacker. So we've always got to make sure that he's ready to go out there and play Mike linebacker. And that's why we've been developing other guys in the backfield.
How do you do that from a guy like that's perspective? Look, these guys are ultimate competitors. They're going to want to be on the field as much as possible and help contribute as much as possible. How do you, teach them to hone that in some?
Yeah, I don't know if you actually quite teach them. I think you more so speak wisdom into them, speak life into them, speak reality into them. And I think over time, it's one thing to hear the truth, but it's a whole other thing to believe the truth, And usually we're telling our kids that when we're not doing things the right way, like on the field. But in that situation, you got to tell a young man the truth of what it takes to do what we're asking them to do, what the mindset has to be, what type of physical shape your body has to be in. And he's in the right mindset and he's in the right headspace He just got that ankle injury that he's dealing with a little bit right now that's just kind of holding him back. But I expect him to be full strength very, very soon, and he probably won't come off the field.
If you just joining us here on the Carencro Bears Network, is the GP Are You With Me show, the Carencro Coaches show that's here live each and every Tuesday night. And of course, the fun doesn't stop just on Tuesdays. Monday, buy one, get one here at Pizzaville, as well as all week long. Starting at $10, you can get lunch specials Monday through Friday. So come check them out right here at 114 Derrick Plaza off of Veterans Boulevard right here in Carencro. Coach, let's turn our attention now to the defensive side of the football. Again, roller coaster is going to kind of be the theme, and trying to get a little bit more consistent. What did you like from your guys on Thursday night?
We bended, but we never broke. You know, the old term, bend, don't break, and we got stops when we needed to. We stuck together. I thought our defensive side of the ball, as far as from a coaching staff, did a good job of keeping our guys kind of honed in. And that was a big stop that we made, man. That was a big stop that we made that gave us a chance to win the game. And it was, you know, it's ironic. Look at the guy that made the big plays. It was B.A. All right, he made the big play on the stop with the sack, and then he made the big play a couple plays later, okay, with the touchdown run that came right back after a touchdown run that we had got called back, you know, and it's a judgment call. You know, pass interferences, holdings, things of that nature, those are all judgment calls, which means that every human is going to interpret it differently. You know, so what we want to try to get our kids to understand is to put yourself in position to where you're not improperly judged. And you know, maybe we could have done a little bit better on the touchdown that got called back, but I just like the fact that we responded the correct way. You know, you could sink and go into a valley in that situation, and we didn't. You know, we didn't. We kept our head, and if it wasn't the very next play, it might have been 2 plays later. BA takes the sweep for a touchdown. So very, very proud of our defense side of the ball for holding strong the other night, and I think we got a shot to get better and better there too.
How does that work, coming out of a jamboree, you watching film, of course, you're utilizing it to get better, just like you talked about using the scrimmage to get better against Westgate. You watching film with that group. Is this a group that's are they film junkies? Do they like the film room, or are they bought in when it comes to watching film?
You know, one of the things that we speak about having to do to be a championship winning football program is, first of all, you got to have championship players. You got to be a champion before you win a championship. And part of being a championship football player is we call it a 4D player, which means that you understand what everybody on the field is supposed to do. And we're not quite there yet. You know, we got 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D. That's kind of the order. we kind of joke with them. We tell them we got a bunch of zeros, ones, and twos right now. You know, we need more threes and fours. And, you know, I think we'll get there. Once again, inexperience, inexperience. You know, as time goes on, I expect our guys to buy into the cerebral part of football, which is huge. You know, we had a big meeting today. We took pictures during athletic PE with the freshmen. And after we took pictures, I took a couple of them, and we're in the classroom, and we did about 40, 45 minutes on the board, and went over formations and went over motions and went over adjustments and talked about the what, the why, and the how. And you'll be amazed how much better those guys were today out there on the field because of that time that we put in, And I just told them that those are the things that you got to do to become a 4D player. So we're not quite there yet, not only on the defense side of the ball. I'm talking about everywhere. We're not quite there yet, but I expect us to get there soon.
And something that we talked a lot about last week was special teams. And you just mentioned, you get a new kicker into the program, but the Jamboree was really the first time that you saw some live action in special teams. I mean, look, at Westgate week before, he did some kind of, half and half type special teams, not really full speed, no rush, no kick returns, that kind of thing. How do you feel your group handled special teams, and how confident are you in that group going into the season?
I thought we handled special teams very well. I was very, very proud of our kicker because, once again, he hadn't been with our program a week. Okay,
well, hold on, Coach. You said that more than once. We got to tell the story. I mean, how do you get a kid like that to come out to football? I mean, we're in a desperate need, right, at that point.
Yes.
We needed a kicker. You told me jokingly, I think you were joking, like we need one bad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you found one just a couple weeks before the season started.
I don't even know if it was a couple weeks before the season. Well, yeah, I guess a couple weeks before actually week one. But it must have been the previous, not last week, but the previous Thursday. I got this young man in my class, and I looked at him, and I said, man, he looks like a kicker. Like he looks like a kicker. Now, I thought the kid had been in school for multiple years. Like he looked like a kid that had been in school for multiple years just by looking at him. And Coach Sias had walked by, And he had kind of challenged him. He said, "Hey, bro, you need to come out and kick, man. You need to come out and kick." I said, "Man, leave that boy alone. He ain't coming kick, coach. You know them boys ain't coming kick." And then the very next day, he walked up to me while I walking in class. He said, "I hear you need a kicker." He said, "Do you need one?" I said, "Does a dog bark?" He said, "Well, I want to kick." I said, "Well, go in class." I said, "I'm gonna call you out, give you the eligibility form, the physical, and all that type of stuff. We're gonna get rolling." Well, I forgot. I got busy and I actually forgot. So I walked into the office and I told Miss Brenda, I said, "Miss Brenda, I need you to call this young man out of class." So I called him out of class. Met him in my office. I can tell right there he had something special with him just because he thought he was just coming to kick for freshmen. And then I kind of explained to him that he's coming to kick for varsity, and I said, "Does that scare you?" He said, "Oh man, I ain't never scared." So, funny story. I think by the time school ended, maybe about an hour after school ended, I was getting text messages from his mom on what he needed to do to, become official, et cetera, et cetera. And then the very next day, we're up at the school game planning. Okay, I'm on the phone with one of my friends. Okay, kind of talking about the jamboree, and he was one of the ones that actually called me about the good things that Ross is doing. He was saying, "Man, y'all killing it on social media," and I'm like, so we're talking about that, and I get a phone call from the mom, like while I'm on the phone with him, and I couldn't answer it because I was on the phone with him. 5 minutes later, they showing up at the school. Okay, he's ready to go out there on the field and kick, man. So he has been an extremely hard worker ever since he's been in our program, and he went out there and he got the first extra point, and then the second time we got it, we need to tie the game. And I asked everybody, we ain't afraid to go for two around here. I asked everybody, "Hey man, do we go for two right here and win the game?" And they were like, "Yeah, let's go for it, let's go for it." And I thought about it. I said, "No, I want to put this kid in that situation." And he put it right through the uprights on that second extra point, which was a tough situation to be in, not only with the game-winning field goals. So just very proud of that kid, and I think he's going to be for us going forward.
Another thing that you talked about before coming on air is, needing that positive momentum, needing some good things to happen. Hey, when you first start and play football for the first time and kicking, ain't nothing like getting 2 extra points and your coach having the faith in you to go ahead and kick it right there.
That's right. That's right.
What? So is he going to do kickoffs, punting, or is he just a
Right
extra point
now,
specialist right now?
look, Babineau is really, really good, obviously, in kickoff and punt and things of that nature. So right now, we kind of expect Bab to be there. We just want the young man to get really, really good right now at kicking extra points and field goals. And I think as time goes on, he'll learn how to do other things. But right now, we just want him to focus on extra points and field goals. We feel very comfortable with Babineau on kickoff. We feel very comfortable with him on punt. So we just kind of want Matt right now to focus on extra point and field goals. But over time, we're going to develop him to be a complete player at his position, no different than we do everybody else.
Coach, I'm asking you one more question. I see your food arrived. I don't want it to get cold on you. Your coverage units, that's something that we talked about needing to get better, to prevent bad field position and flip-flopping field position from series to series. How well those guys did for you on Thursday night, and how confident are you in that bunch
I
as
was
well?
very proud of us for the way we covered kicks. We hadn't been very good at that the last couple of years, and we invested a lot into it this summer, and even going forward now, not just on kickoff, but every unit of special teams we invested a lot of time in. And I was very proud of the way our guys covered, and we've got to continue to get better at that and continue to be sound, okay, in every phase of the game. But I was very proud of us on the way we covered kicks. The worst word in football, and Coach Joey might shake his head at me, no or yes, I don't quite know. But the worst word in football to me is punt. I hate the punt. Okay, I hate the punt.
Huh?
Now, sometimes you got to punt, okay, and it's the right decision. But I hate the word punt. Okay, every time we call out punt when we walk through special teams, I say, all right, here we go. Worst word in football, punt. And the kids, echo punt. So, but I think we've gotten better in that realm too. Hopefully, we don't have to do that very often. But I think we've made tremendous progress in special teams, and we've got to continue to work hard, compete, and do things the right way, and continue to get better in that realm as well.
All right, Coach, I'm going to let you go for now, but when you come back after a while, we have to talk about those STM Cougars.
Yes, sir.
We're going to step aside for the first time tonight, but when we come back, our guy Seth Dickerson is going to join us. He's going to tell you all about the AOIT program right here at Carencro High on your home for Carencro Bears Network.
We did a lot of video stuff, and that's kind of where my passion ended up leading me. I was a journalist. I worked at the Daily Advertiser, the Advocate, and the Shreveport Times. Came back, became a teacher, did a little social studies, and then got into technology education. And we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Do you ever miss doing the journalist thing, having to go on the beat and write stories? Was
No.
that something that you got enjoyment out of?
I did at first, but I started to realize I have a passion for working with kids. I like working with teenagers and showing them they have a lot of opportunities to just follow their passion and get paid for it, down the road. You can find a career in doing stuff related to technology, no matter what it is.
And what's great is the academy for the entire parish is right here at Carencro, and you were named the director of the academy over the summer, and it's a great honor, and congratulations. I think it's well
Thank you.
deserved. What kind of vision do you have for the academy and different things that you would like to see bring to light?
I think one of the major tenets of what we're trying to do is follow the kids' interests where they are. Like if they want to do video, because it's the big thing now. Live streaming, all that kind of stuff. It's huge right now, and a lot of kids want to learn how to do it. And, not everybody's like, comfortable in front of camera, so they learn audio, video stuff. We do video live streams every morning for the announcements for the kids through YouTube on a channel similar to this. They learn the programs, they do all that stuff, and if you're not interested in that, we have computer science. They're building apps. We're designing web pages. We're doing computer hardware. It's everything. It's just following the kids. The main mantra is be future ready, and whatever that future is for you, we hope to try to, meet that at the academy.
Seth Dickerson, a guy who could do it behind the camera, in front of the camera, with the pen, kind of does it all. So, look, when we announced that, the launch of Carencro Broadcast, Carencro Bears Network, and live broadcast streaming, tell me how the students felt about that, and what did they think about the opportunity of doing things like this?
It was exciting. I mean, a lot of kids want to get involved. They want to find their niche. They want to, not everyone's an athlete. Not everyone's a computer programmer. Not everyone is any other thing, but they find their little niche, and that's what we try to meet them here. So they were super excited. They want to be involved in some kind of way, and I think that's the major thing, driving force of the academy, this holistic high school experience. You get to do athletics, you get to do technology, you get to learn, and you come out with skills and credentials and all that stuff. So they were super excited to get that opportunity to do something for real. Like, this is broadcast to the world, and we've got kids behind it.
You talked about app engineering and creating apps and that kind of thing. Look, is that something that maybe the Carencro Bears Network could eventually maybe find themselves on their own app?
Well, funny you mentioned that, Blaine, because actually, Carencro Bears Carencro Bears Network does have its own app. It is on your Roku and Fire Stick TV available now. And I believe this will be the first episode that is going to be on the app. So,
awesome.
So if you're not a YouTube person, or if you're not a person that gets on the live stream, it's video on demand on the Roku and Fire TV Stick app. That is my understanding. And I reserve the right to be wrong, but this should be the first one.
Hey, nobody's fact checking around here, right? No, it's political season, but we don't have any fact checkers here tonight.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, I got my man Seth Dickerson joining us right here on the Carencro Bears Network for the GP Are You With Me show, and of course we're live each and every week right here at Pizzaville, USA. For the original Ground Patty segment today, we're talking a little technology. So, look, a guy who I see with you, and I'm going to pick on him a little bit because he's been with us every week so far, is my guy Benji Dozatel, and he seems to be your right-hand man, right?
Oh, yeah.
He seems to be a guy who gets it done behind the scenes. How is it important to have kids like Benji to completely buy in and want to be a part of something like this?
Hey, it's cool. I mean, just going where he was as a freshman to where he is now, like, it's really cool to see him kind of get out of his shell and be like, he found his passion, and we have countless stories of kids in the academy, and hopefully we'll have a lot more down the road. But just to see Ben kind of grow into his own person and follow what he's passionate about. I mean, like, it's an incredible feeling. It's what I wake up and want to do every morning is get more kids like that in the academy and involved in school, not just in AYT, but in Carencro, and understand what it means to be a Carencro Bear. I mean, like,
Nothing cooler than that. Now, when you're looking at this Friday is going to be our first broadcast Friday night for a live football game.
zoom in,
How
zoom out.
what goes into doing a live broadcast like that?
It takes a lot. No, on the side, the little lean forward and backward button on the top.
We have Todd Olivier trying to work.
Oh yeah, we're
They
working
did
the
not
camera right
have
now.
a technology program back in 1981 when Tado graduated from Carencro High School. We got our guy Benji coming over
Oh,
to
I
fix
think you
it
did
right
it.
now.
That was it. You asked the wrong person.
Hey, we
The
live and
most wrong
candid on the
person.
Carencro Bears Network for sure. But look,
Thank you, Todd.
first live broadcast on Friday, big deal, right? First
Yeah.
game that we're going to do live on
Yep.
the network. What goes into something like that? All the work behind the scenes to making sure everything goes perfect.
It's a lot, as you can see just now. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot of wires. We have y'all can't see now, but behind is a ton of wires. Some work, some don't. It's a lot of troubleshooting. A lot of audio stuff. Connecting with a lot of people. And I mean that's life skills too. So it's a lot of communication, a lot of work, a lot of internet.
Well, Seth, look, I appreciate the time. I've been enjoying working with you. I love how you're always open-minded. No matter what I do, Coach Gavin or I have, you're
yeah.
always, trying to make it happen. So I applaud you and your staff and your students for always going above and beyond to make this
That's the
happen.
good thing about working with GP. You're always on your feet.
You're never going to lie about that.
Magna Academy applications open up in October. If you're interested in becoming a part of what we're doing, 8th grade is open to 8th graders and 9th graders as well. So if you're at Carencro High School and you see this and you say, hey, I want to be a part of it, in October, I don't have the exact date on me, but there's a good time between October and December. We have our Academy Showcase in October. I'm sure I'll be back to talk about it a little bit more, but we'll be doing that as well. So come out and see us. Up is LafayetteChoice.com/apply, and that'll open up again in October. So
There you have it. Come join the program, and this could be you next year, running the show and sitting right here and having a conversation with Seth
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
Very good. Well, we're going to take our second break of the night. When we come back, Carencro Offensive Coordinator and longtime Carencro coach Joey Dwyer is going to join me, and we're going to talk about
boy.
how important and special this weekend it is, not only with the retired numbers, some special dignitary, and we're going to get to talk about the new turf field that we're going to debut on Friday night as well. Stick right here for your home for everything Carencro, the Carencro Bears Network.
Oh, yeah.
I don't trust anything that's not.
Seriously, man, make this quick.
Welcome back to the GP. Are you with me? Carencro Coaches Show right here on the Carencro Bears Network, live from Pizzaville, USA, each and every Tuesday night. And again, this segment, though, is going to be sponsored by the original Ground Patty. You could go check those folks out at 505 West Pont de Mouton. And guess what? Thursday night, they got steak night, Coach. I know you like a good steak.
Oh, yeah,
And
nothing wrong with that.
Friday night, a little live music. And then if you need to get
I've
ready
been there
for
a few times on a Friday night.
I'm sure
It's
you
a
have.
good time.
I'm sure you have.
It is a very good time.
And if you go on Sunday, get ready for a little NFL action, bottomless mimosas. So
Nah, that's
put,
not my thing.
put them on the radar for a
Not
lot
my
of
thing.
weekend fun, starting with Thursday night steak night at the original Ground Patty. Coach, appreciate you joining me. I know this isn't your thing, but you've been around Carencro football for a long time, and we're doing something cool this Friday night. It's going to be the retired jerseys, kind of bringing them out to the new stadium. I know they've always been in the coach's office, but we're going to kind of bring out some nice jerseys to put at the stadium and show those things off. And, of course, our jerseys that we do have retired is number 1, Wade Ritchie, number 3, Kevin Falk, 8, Damian James, and 22, Derek Beavers. What a stud crew.
Yeah, that's a good group of players right there. And it's nice to finally honor those guys at the stadium. And just kind of makes the stadium look a little bit better. It's beautifying the stadium and really got some good things going out there, and it just makes everything look so much better now.
Are we going to get all 4 of these guys out to the field on Friday night?
As far as I know, all 4 guys will be in the building. All
That's-
4 guys. And a few of them have been there pretty often. The one that I'm most excited about is Damian James coming back. I don't think Damian's been back to Carencro High since like 1997, his last year of playing. So just to have Damian James back in the building is going to be amazing.
Yeah, you know, Damian James at Carencro 95 to 97. Rushed for over 4,000 yards throughout his career, threw for another 2,000. He was dynamic, could do everything with the football. Kind of reminds me of somebody that we have currently right now.
Yeah, a little
Very
bit.
similar style of player, not maybe the quick twitch athlete, but kind of a long strider.
Yeah, he's definitely a little bit faster than Seabad was. But, yeah, same kind of player. Same kind of player, same kind of skill set.
You know, it's been a while since we have retired a jersey. All these guys were pretty much early to mid 90s. I know there was some rules under the Mac Barus era. You know, you had to make certain criteria. You know, parade
Yeah, you had to be
All-American.
a part of a certain All-American team. And I think it was parade. You had to be a parade All-American.
And look, that's an honor for these guys to be parade All-Americans. Those are the best of the best for the entire country. So, look, I don't want to put you on the spot here.
Yes,
I
you
know
do.
this is
Yes, you do. Let's go.
This is a controversial type thing, but I saw Theo Babineau. Look, was a great Carencro back in his own right. Played from 96 to 98. He's a almost 2,800-yard rusher in his career for Carencro. You know, he posted some pictures of the plaque jerseys that are out at the field that look fantastic. And, you know, got a couple folks talking, you know, say who should be retired, who could be else up there. If you had to pick 2 others, you already told me one. I'm not going to let you off that easy. You had to pick 2 more numbers to be retired. Then I don't care what everybody on social media said. I don't care what Coach Mack. We love you, Coach Mack, but it's sitting for you right now. I want to know what Joey Dwyer says. You could retire 2 more numbers, Coach. Who we getting?
I mean, one of them's obvious for me. The second one I'm trying to think right now, but so I'll just go with the obvious one. I wish number 7 was retired in honor of Lucas Taylor. I mean, I think that is a no-brainer. But getting back to that, I'm kind of in a lot of ways, I'm kind of glad the jersey is not retired because I think we get to honor Lucas and all the great players that wore that number 7 the way we operate now, and we give that jersey to the best offensive player on each team. So I think I like that idea. I think we honor those guys that way, and so it's unfortunate it's not retired, but I think in a lot of ways we are honoring him a lot more by that. So all the great guys that wore number 7, Lucas Taylor, Keno Davis, God, why I can't remember, Chance Caesar, Jalen Nixon. I mean, and among others, I'm already forgetting some. So I think it's good the way it's done now. So I'm kind of glad it's not. But if I could choose, I would definitely go back to 2005 and hang that jersey up in the Raptors.
Coach, look, your first year as offensive coordinator, you said you don't like doing this media thing on camera. You just got up here and gave me the coaches of the coaches speak, the most politically correct answer in the entire world that you possibly could. You're like a seasoned vet.
Trying.
Speaking of your new role, it's kind of switching over to being an offensive coordinator and being a play caller. Look, you've been heavily involved on that side of the football ever since your time here, from coaching with Rip Evelyn to Kevin Falk to Tony Corville with Gavin Peters now. How does that feel, kind of getting that new role and getting into the flow of the game in a different dynamic? How does that change the way you approach the game on a Friday night and the way you coach each and every day?
I mean, I don't think it's really changed how I'm operating right now, especially in game days. We're still kind of doing the same things I've been doing the last 4 or 5 years. I just think the different role has allowed me to become a better coach because I'm not now coaching quarterbacks, something I've never done in my life before. I've always been an O-line guy. So moving over to that side of the ball has allowed me to become a better coach, understand the passing game a little bit more, understanding the ins and outs in the backfield, and I think it's just really helped me become a more all-around coach. And so even though I was a little hesitant about the move at first, in the end, it's made me a better coach, and hopefully at some point it makes us a better football team because of it.
Chance has a bigger year this year.
It's all me. It's all me.
Binging
It's
is
all
on,
me.
so
Yeah.
didn't have the proper footwork to Chance last year.
Nah.
But look, you talk about a spoiled group that you get to coach. I mean, not only is Chance Babineau just a superior athlete, but he could do it in multiple different ways. But then you got a young freshman that a lot of folks around here like a lot, Carson Gursey. I'm talking cool as a cucumber.
Yes.
Wise behind his years. The guy gets in there. He's not afraid to sling the rock down the field. Tell me a little bit about what he brings to the game.
Well, Carson's not your typical freshman. I mean, this kid is, like you said, wise beyond his years, very, very knowledgeable of the game, works extremely hard. He's a film junkie. He gets after it. He has an assignment. He takes care of it. And those are the things that separate him, and those are a lot of the reasons why he's able to get on the field for us as a freshman. For the most part, that's tough to do. It's a little bit easier for a skill guy because if you can go out there and run, and be the best athlete on the field, you can find your way. But to play the quarterback position, especially in this offense and at this level, is pretty amazing what Carson's able to do. And it all comes from his work ethic and his knowledge of the game and the film work that he's putting in.
Character Offensive Coordinator Joey Dwyer joining us right here on the GP Are You With Me show, live from Pizzaville, USA. Still time to get out here tonight. Come out and join us. Kids eat for free. I hear the adult beverages are very cold. A lot of fun still to be had tonight.
I don't know about that.
Of course you don't, Coach. Let's talk about something else really exciting. Not only are we getting New Jersey plaques tomorrow to honor those retired numbers, but we get a totally new field. And, boy, I've seen the videos. Todd O sent me a couple of them. You sent me a couple of them. And beautiful field.
Yes, it's amazing. The field looks absolutely outstanding.
And look, you've been here since, 1980?
Come on now. I've been at Carecrow. I've been at Carecrow. I guess I've been at Carecrow since '88 because I came to school here. So graduated in '91. The minute I finished graduating, I went to Carecrow Middle, and I was there from like '92 to 2005. And then I've been at Carecrow High ever since 2007.
Well, how does it feel, though, to kind of be there?
In the end.
The one thing I want to get to before I let you run, for the first time ever, Carecrow is going to honor a Lifetime Achievement Award and it's going to go to somebody who's near and dear to a lot of people in the community's heart, and even more so you. You know, that's a relative of yours, and Mr. Jimmy Brasa. Couldn't have picked a better recipient in the first year. I'm talking about, Carencro through and through. I couldn't be more excited for Mr. Jimmy as well as the entire Carencro community and program. What does that mean to you to kind of be part of that, and how excited are you for Mr. Jimmy on Friday
Oh,
night?
it means a lot to me. It means a lot because that guy has done a lot for this program going all the way back as far as I can remember. I mean, if anything the program needed, he was always there for it. And that's one thing I like about what we're doing right now. We've done a really good job of going back and honoring the people in the past. And he is definitely the most deserving guy for the first annual Lifetime Achievement. And I said first annual, and I said I would not say it. The inaugural.
You were doing very
The
good, Coach.
inaugural Lifetime Achievement Award. He is the perfect guy for that.
Well, Coach, I think you did pretty good up here for your first time. I hope
right.
we'll have you back a couple times this
Yeah,
season.
I'll be back.
We'll figure out something to argue about, make it a little bit more fun.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Coach Joey Dwyer. We're going to step aside for the last time tonight, but when we come back, Coach Gavin Peters is going to join us, and we're going to talk about the big matchup Friday night, STM Cougars at the Open Air Crow Dome. And, of course, you can watch it only one place, the Carencro Bears Network. To be each and every Tuesday night. So make plans for next week to bring the fam. Of course, Tuesday night, kids eat free. Can't beat that deal, Coach.
Not at all. Not at all. I wish my kids was here right now.
We'll have to get the wife and kids here for 1 week. You know,
Absolutely,
I know it's a little
absolutely.
late.
Yeah,
Little late.
I thought about it on the way over here. You know, it's just kind of one of those deals where, I already wasn't home very much before. And I said I'm gonna have to talk with them when I get home and say, hey man, Wednesdays are already long nights because we play freshman and JV games that. Y'all gonna have to make y'all way to Peacerville a few times, just so
You can
we
see
can spend a little
right?
bit more time with each other. That's right, man. And I've tried to do that more, as time goes on, and I've got 2 little girls that God has blessed me with, and I tell you what, I sure enjoy the time that I spend with them. And obviously I love football, but they're growing, and just this time of the year is just tough. So I like to try to see them as much as I can.
I totally get it. Let's shift our gears and talk about the St. Thomas More Cougars, who Karen Crow, been a little rough sledding for the Bears over the years. 15 games, the Bears are 3-12 against STM. When the last win coming back in 2006. Not a lot of luck when it comes to the STM Cougars, and that speaks volumes about that program.
Absolutely. I don't think that's just Karen Crow. I bet you could pull a lot of schools up in the state of Louisiana, and you're probably going to get the same result. But what a model of consistency, what a model of tradition, what a model of excellence. I think that's what Coach Shane mentioned a couple weeks ago. That's kind of their school motto, is to be excellent. In everything that they do, they want to have excellence. And they've just had tremendous leadership, and they had tremendous camaraderie, and they've all stuck together. One of the things that attracted me to being a high school football coach was I respected the fact that Coach Davidson has spent so much time at Acadiana, and Coach McCullough has spent so much time at Acadiana, and I wanted to be like those guys, spend a lot of time at a school. And those guys at St. Thomas More are just like that. I think they've got about 3 different groups of coaches, where some have been there 40 or 50 years, Coach Hightower and Coach Tidwell, and then there's another group that's been there about 30 years, and then there's another group that's been there about 20 years. So, and look, I admire those guys. They're really good mentors. They're really good friends. I think Coach Shane is, I'm biased. I think Coach Shane is the best offensive coordinator in the country. I really do. And I think that Coach Lance is the best receivers coach in the country. I just got a tremendous amount of respect for those guys. And we've just spent a lot of time together over the years, whether it's coaching all-star games or just hanging out. We go play 7-on-7 with them every Tuesday. So we've got a really good relationship with that program, and we admire them. And, when I first took over at Karen Crow, they asked, what type of offense you going to run? I said, Coach, I want to run that stuff you run it, And he kind of laughed. I said, look, man, I just think y'all do a great job of developing players to be complete players at every position. They develop every position on offense to play at a high level. Linemen are very good in the run game and the pass game. Tight ends are effective in the run game and able to split out and, be effective guys on the perimeter. And obviously the quarterback and receiver play. I mean, if you've ever watched STM, you know what they're about in that realm. So just a tremendous amount of respect, and excited to have the opportunity to play in this game against those guys. And I just hope that we do well and the Master Championship level of play that they're going to bring.
Every team's a little bit different, but STM seems to almost be carbon copies of themselves each and every year. Kind of, you mentioned just the consistency, and Coach Shane Savoy. And a lot of teams, a lot of folks like to think that, they're just a pass-heavy offense, and that's just not the case. They're about a 50-50 team. They like to spread it around, run underneath. What does this version of the Cougars do that scares you the most?
Just be who they are, just be who they are. They look like robots, they look like they just create them in a factory, and every year they all look the same. I tell you what about this STM team, though. They are humongous when it comes down to their skill positions, The quarterback's a big player. Tight end's a big physical player. They've got tight end type bodies at the receiver position this year, which is a little bit different for them. And just Coach Shane, just every year, man, he does a great job with his personnel. They've got multiple backs that can play. And he just does a great job of getting the best personnel out there on the field. So, they're kind of more like what they were when I first started coaching right now, where they're, very good running the football. Still obviously got their passing game, but, they win a line of scrimmage and, just put you in a lot of schematical conflicts, man. And, it's going to be a tough one on Friday, but they just do an outstanding job. And this year is no different. They've kind of been lighting the world on fire in the passing game in the last couple of years. And, look, they're going to still do it this year as well. But the way this personnel kind of shakes out a little bit for them, I expect them to run the football a great deal and use those big physical players out there on the edge to make those 50-50 catches when they need them and things of that nature.
And they also able to do it with depth. They're able to kind of bring guys in and out and getting a bunch of guys some run, and a lot of teams just can't do that. You're talking about playing guys on both sides of the football. Shane and those guys don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no doubt. I think they have, a little bit north of 250 players a year, which is a blessing, And look, man, there ain't many things that they don't do well. All the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, and just what a great program, and looking forward for us having an opportunity to go out there and play against those guys this week.
I think if I asked you without the cameras on, and if you could add your way on how you'd game plan against them, you'd line up in the split back, run the football 35, 40 times in the game, control the clock, control the line of scrimmage. But look, personnel's just not built like that this year. You're going to have to be multiple and do different things. How comfortable or do you think these new kids are kind of going in and out, spread to split back and that kind of thing?
Well, we're getting better day by day. We're getting better day by day. I think today we're a little bit better than yesterday. I think yesterday we're a little bit better than last Wednesday. So once again, it's a work in progress. We got to keep chopping wood. Old Phil Jackson's statement, I read his book, and he talked about how one of his mottos with the Bulls was you got to chop wood and carry water. So we just got to keep chopping wood and carrying water, and I think we'll get better and better at executing on a day in and day out basis.
When you look at Coach Shane Saba's offense, you got to attack it. You can't just let it come to you because he'll pick you apart. When it comes to on the defensive side of the football, do you pick your spots? Is it a down and distance? Is it a formation thing? How do you kind of decide when you're going to pick those spots?
Well, look, you got to go out there and play winning football at the end of the day. We were, having a little coaches gathering a couple of years ago, and Coach Lance, the receivers coach, asked Coach Tidwell, Coach, you've been coaching for, a bunch of years. If you could say one of the things that you have to do to be a good defense, what do you have to do? He said tackle. You got to be able to tackle well. You got to be able to run to the football, and you got to be able to tackle. I mean, that's what we got to be able to do on Friday. It ain't about down and distance. And, look, all of that stuff matters. I'm not going to sit here and say that it does not, okay? All of that stuff matters. But at the end of the day, we got to tackle, okay? We got to win a line of scrimmage, and we got to be tight the routes on the perimeter, and we got to win those 50-50 balls. They just do a tremendous job of creating separation and, being physical at the point of attack at every position group. And we've got to do that at a higher level than them in order to win that football game.
I might be a little bit salty from Sunday night, but I think it's awfully important to finish drives in the red zone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when you get chances against a team like this, you got to punch it in.
Oh, yeah. Look, you got to earn everything. We talk about the three things that we got to do to win football games. We got to be physical, we got to be competitive, and we got to be sound. And I always tell the kids that the great teams in the state of Louisiana, they don't beat themselves. They make you earn everything. Obviously, like Notre Dame is one of those type of teams, with Coach Louis Cook. Acadiana's one of those type of teams, and the great run and tradition that they've had. And St. Thomas More is one of those teams, where they ain't going to give you much, man. You've got to earn every single inch of success out there on the field, and I expect it to be no different on Friday.
When you look at the stat sheet after the game, I know what the most important stat is on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But when you look at that stat sheet, what's the most important thing that stands out? What's the first thing you can go to when you look at the stat sheet after the game?
We have, on both sides of the football, we have benchmarks. Okay, on first and second down, we want to get 4 yards or more 67% of the time. On third downs, we want to turn that into a first down at least 75% of the time. We got different benchmarks that we have, and at the end of the day, Coach Joey's responsible for calculating that and getting all of that data in our scouting report. And I just asked him, Coach, how we did on benchmarks, this week. And, at the end of the day, we want, and it amazes me, but every time we show our kids, we put – it's either a win or a loss in every single one of those categories. And obviously we put the wins – in gold, and we put the losses in red. And when we have more golds in the right column of those benchmarks on Mondays when we go over the scouting report, we win games, okay? And when we have more reds, we lose games. So all of those things matter. Winning on first and second down, extending drives on third down. As you said, red zone, that's one of our goals. We want to be 100% in the red zone. You've got to be able to do those things. And, it's never going to be more important on Friday night. But we're excited about the challenge, and we look forward to the opportunity.
Watched a lot of college football over the weekend, Coach. And one thing that stood out, some teams are very, very good on the first drive when everything's scripted. Some teams are awful coming out to start a game. Are you more of a guy who scripts the first, 10 plays or so, the entire first drive, or it's more of a feel and down and distance?
Oh, no, it's all feel and down and distance. I've never scripted a game a day in my life. We kind of just go out there and, call based off down and distance, situations, field zones. And, what you got to do, it's always a struggle. But like Coach Saban say, you don't need to think plays, think players, And, we even got a section on our call sheet where we got certain players that, we want to get the ball to them. We got things that we can do to get them there. So, look, it's chess. It's not checkers. It's chess, But I've never scripted. I was never taught to script. I don't even really know how that goes, to be honest with you. But everything's off the dome. Everything's off the dome. Everything's from the heart, and it's all based off field.
I'll go with the old cliche now, Coach. If X happens on Friday night, Carencro comes out victorious.
We got to win the line of scrimmage. We got to win the line of scrimmage. We got to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. We've got to make plays in space. Our skill players have got to be spectacular on both sides of the ball. We got to win 50-50 balls on the perimeter. We got to be tight to routes. We've got to tackle. That back that they have is a very good back, and he's very big, and he's going to be fresh because they've got so much depth. So he's going to be running at a high level for 4 quarters. We got to block, we got to tackle, we got to execute. Those are the things that we got to do to win this football game. And like I always say, we got to be physical, we got to be competitive, and we got to be sound. We got to make those guys hate to want to play us. Every rep is personal. We got to hate to lose more than we love to win. And we got to play for the bear next to us and play for the bear that came before us, and we do those 3 things or do all of those things, I think we'll have a shot to win the football game.
Get off the mat since the first time since 2006. It'd be a big winning program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got to be special. That's been the whole thing this week. Be special.
Well, it was a great time again with you here. I want to thank some fine folks. Of course, Coach Gavin Peters for joining us each and every week. Coach Joey DeWire, Carencro's offensive coordinator. Seth Dickerson, the director of AOIT. Our guy Benji Desatel and Ross Noel. Of course, all you guys. Come out and support these businesses that support us, Pizzaville USA, as well as Ground Patty. We still have plenty of opportunities. If you want to get involved and advertise on the stream, you could drop us a line at cbnstream@gmail.com, and we'll get all that information over to you. Coach, so much fun. We'll do it again next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to thank everybody for their continued support. Very excited about the crowd and the atmosphere that we can have this Friday. We have a tradition every Wednesday when we go in the weight room where we listen to that song by Kenny Chesney, Boys of Fall, And, the words and the lyrics of that song this Friday night is what it's all about. This Friday night is what it's all about. And we're going to have people from all over. I think it might be the game of the, of the night in the state. And, just want to encourage everybody to come out and support the team and support the school. And we appreciate all the support the last couple months. It's been great. But now it's time for the season to be here, and like I've been telling the kids, our job is to win on the field. And we get the first opportunity to do that on Friday, and just looking forward to a great night in the open-air Crow Dome.
Of course, you can catch all that action right here on the Carencro Bears Network. And if you can't join us, you could also catch us on the Real Z 105.9. Coach Christopher Kovac and I will have the call. Coach, we'll do it again next week. Best of luck to you Friday night.
Thank you, sir. Go Bears.
Hey, I just went by the watch with a whole lot of diamonds to show how these my time. Took a trip out to Cali to hang with the cliques, make a play and get high off that. I say R.I.P. Kobe, so